whereby a lot of people have been losing their houses due to fires. You know what I mean? And we see some simple fixes that could be put in place to help quell the disastrous results of these fires, taking away people's homes that they've worked a lifetime to be able to afford to give themselves and their family shelter. And we also think that much more can be done in the interim, in between finding a permanent solution. Some of these solutions that we're going to suggest could be temporary and until we find a permanent fix. But for the most part, these can also be implemented as permanent solutions going forward. Also, speaking namely of utilizing some of the tanks that were distributed or given to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the time of the explosive volcanic eruptions of the La Soufrière that took place last year, to help get water to residents in areas that were affected, you know, who may not have had water supply and access to clean water. Most of these tanks, if not all, still remain in storage. And people are wondering what is being done with them and how they could be utilized, or if they will be distributed otherwise, or what they're being saved for. Now, in the interim, due to what we're seeing happening with a fire taking place just this week in Bequia, and 4 houses perishing, families left out in the cold basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also a fire that took place in Baga that saw 1 house burned also just this week too. It's something for concern, where these tanks could be utilized and put into communities that are highly populated, where there's a police station, a post office, or a community center, or even a school, where they can be filled with rainwater and they can be utilized as a source of water to help the community in times of dire need, whether it be in dry season or in the instance where there's a fire, where you could have trucks mounted with small pumps, water pumps, or not even trucks, pickups mounted with small water pumps stationed at basically the community center or the police station, that can go to these tanks and utilize the water supply to help quell the flames and save people's property from perishing completely. Otherwise to that, we're suggesting that they decentralize the fire station services and put them in communities such as Georgetown, Mesopotamia, Vermont, Leo, the major towns and the major populated areas. Meswo is not a town, but it is a majorly populated area in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You have Canaan, Mount Pleasant, Richland Park, you have Yambu, you have Lacqua, a lot of areas in Mesopotamia. And the time it will take for a truck to come up those hills, whether it be Belmont they walk in, whether it be Gome they walk in, to reach to fight flames, you know the trucks ain't going to come loaded with water. They might have some water in them, but would it be sufficient to do anything when they get on the scene? And then we don't have fire hydrants. Fire hydrants are things that could be put in place at every major junction so that you have access to water when you come to fight fires in communities. And we've been saying these things for years, and to no avail, it seems.
Nothing is being done.
They've been doing a lot of maintenance work on main pipelines, and a lot of work when it comes to changing out infrastructure when it comes to pipelines. This is the CWSA I'm speaking about, and I'm not seeing any implementation of new hydrants anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's not cost effective. I don't know if it wasn't planned into what is going on strategically, or whatever it is, but something needs to be done.
Maybe again, it's not called for enough. Maybe it needs to be called for enough.
Well, we've been calling for it. I personally been calling for it for over 8 years.
Yeah,
man.
but I guess it's not. I guess it's not enough noise, man.
You know, and I want to know people's thoughts and opinions on it, because these are things that can work. These things can help to solve the problem, or at least combat it, you know, in some shape or form. Because we cannot just sit back and watch people's houses burning ever so often in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then there's no assistance to build them back. And not everybody could afford house insurance.
Yeah.
If we're to be honest. So something needs to be done. It needs to be addressed, man.
Hopefully, whoever is listening to us could somehow, or maybe we're gonna wait until the proposal come out from Icon and Max and the rest. Maybe me too on the crew. But maybe that's what we need to wait on and see if that will make a difference.
Well, for those of you who would like to participate in our planned venture, you could let us know, man. And if you have any solutions of your own that you think can be implemented to help curb this situation or quell this situation, and give people a fighting chance to not lose everything they've worked hard for, let us know, man. 4301043. Once again, we're live on Facebook at Extreme 104 SVG. You could also check on us at www.extreme104.com. Now we have some comments, some voice notes and stuff coming in.
Actually, no. This is a voice note of a lady. She's addressing a road situation or the road condition, and she sent us a video as well.
All right. So today is Get It Off Your Chest Wednesday. Whatever you have that is bothering you, that you need to air out, now's your perfect time. Now's the place. X104.3 FM, the wake up call, man.
I want to get this police situation off my chest. I've been seeing it going for a very long time, and I think it reached the point of no return for me. And it will be wrong. I don't want to say nothing wrong, but it'll be wrong if I ain't say nothing.
All right, there we go.
So again, if people want to know what we're talking about, you could head to the Extreme Instagram, and there's the videos there that you could go and check out. I saw a video. We're gonna touch the one first in Beckwith.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a officer and a civilian. The officer he's trying to restrain the civilian, move him from the vehicle and restrain him. But while he's doing that, he's putting his arm around his neck. He's putting his arm around his waist, and he's trying to basically body slam him, right?
Okay.
So I'm trying to understand what is he trying to do. The thing is, how the fight start is even crazier because the civilian keeps walking away, trying to get into the vehicle.
But was the civilian being told not to do that?
It appears that way. There was no audio, but it appears that way.
Now, you see, boy.
But here, this is my thing, right? Even if the civilian is being defiant,
Yeah.
is that the right tactic? Is that the right approach? Putting your hand around his neck, strangling him like that, trying to body slam him. That's how they taught in the police academy to restrain anyone.
Now, my thing is, right, I don't know what the training guidelines are and what the prescribed methods to restraining somebody are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I know for sure strangleholds and stuff like that have been basically outlawed in other territories.
Yeah.
And for obvious reasons, people have died as a result of that. You never know who has a respiratory problem, who has other complications that you could effectively trigger.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody passing out in your arms basically and fighting for their life, and it could have been prevented by de-escalating the situation. That's why I firmly believe there needs to be more training when it comes to de-escalation of situations, in the police force and generally in our society, because a lot of things get escalated that don't need to reach to a certain level of animosity or aggressive behavior. Like, for instance, simply by calling for backup if you needed backup, you know what I mean? Because there were other police officers on the scene,
Exactly.
not in the immediate vicinity,
But they were close by
They
enough.
were close by enough because as the video progressed, you saw them come and they tried to, separate the two individuals and part the interaction. Now, the thing about it is, what caught me is the fact that the man ran away. He ran behind the man, and the man, I don't know if the man fell or he pushed him or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm still not clear on that part.
Yeah.
But the man ended up on the ground, and then he proceeded to kick the man.
And box. And even when he's being part from the civilian, he's still running in after being part by another police officer to kick and box him. So
Well-
you don't think that's anger issues or something is wrong?
And I think we need mental evaluations of officers too. And this is not the only incident that took place this week. You know what I mean? That kind of caught my attention. In fact, not only the only incident yesterday, because I think that was yesterday.
Yes,
And
both of them.
there was one with a female vendor, somebody who looks about the age group that could be my mother or one of my aunts or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? An elder in the society being assaulted by an officer. I mean, they had an interaction that ended up physical. But then again, it came like excessive force to me. When I looked at it, they had an interaction, there was pointing in face, then people pushing each other. And then subsequently, you had the officer striking the female.
Yeah.
On video, striking the female. It appears he struck the female. And then he was pushed away by a crowd. She was pushed away. And then he struck the female again. You know what I mean? So it done quell, it done part. And you struck her a second time. And then after the fact, you pull in your weapon.
Exactly.
So what do you think?
In a crowd full of civilians with no arms.
You understand? Well, I can't say if anybody had arms there. But the thing is, I don't see that your life was under threat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then otherwise to that, you pull in your firearm. What if when you pull your firearm, the safety was dislodged and one was in the head? And by mistake and in the tussle, your firearm fired off and shot somebody. What would we be talking about this morning? Somebody dying as a result of a freak accident because a police was enamored and pulled his weapon in a crowded area where there was a tussle going on? That makes no sense.
Don't get me wrong. You could feel unsafe because it seems like he was the only one in that smaller area with everybody surrounding him from the market. It seemed like he was the only officer at that area. I saw officers down the road after, but in that area, it seems like he was there and he could feel a little threatened by that kind of argument and all what's going on. But
I would be honest with you, brother. From what I saw, because in this around the same time of the incident, a police officer was arresting a man, arrested another man and took him to the barracks. There are several parts to that interaction that took place yesterday afternoon,
Okay.
I don't understand why the gun was drawn. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe he felt threatened for his life?
Because they were separating them.
Maybe he felt threatened?
No, and people say, no officer. A female that age was already pushed aside, who you turned away from, and you came back and struck again, and then you leave again, and then you go enjoy your firearm.
Maybe he felt threatened.
Well,
there's a crowd, and it seems like more than one person was saying something loud, like, "Oh, leave the woman alone," and arguing. So
yeah, but
maybe
people saying something and doing something is two different things.
He felt threatened, and he felt the need to hold on to his firearm just to keep himself safe because he's in a crowd by himself.
He wasn't in a crowd by himself, man. There are people trying to quell the interaction, trying to separate. But
I'm trying to understand the physical and mental situation of what was going on. I'm trying to understand it and try to put it into perspective. You feel threatened. The lady, she was talking aggressively and she probably put her hand around your face. I didn't see her touch his face, but
no, but his hand was in her face also.
Also, yeah.
He was like this. And she was like, don't put your hand in my face. You understand? And the two of them were back and forth. And people were trying to get in between them.
Yeah. So, the mental situation there where you feel embarrassed, maybe. You feel embarrassed or you feel threatened by a female putting her hand around your face. And you felt that you had to, box her in her face?
No. Brother, let me tell you something. I've been in many interactions with people, females and all. And until you don't touch me, I don't touch you. And even if you touch me, I will just hold you and say, yo, listen to me. And most of the times I just tell you straight, you're assaulting me, You understand?
Yeah.
We could be in one another personal space and not
physically touch.
You understand? And some people don't understand that. And at the end of the day, everybody expresses themselves a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But until you are physically assaulted or hit or something, you know what I mean? And even still, as a professional, where you have to deal with the public, you should be trained to de-escalate situations instead of helping to escalate the situation by acting aggressively.
But maybe he was the escalating the situation.
Does it look like that? No, let me be honest.
No, it doesn't. It does not. But maybe he was trying to, and it reached to the point of where he had to use physical force.
I don't see that, boy.
Maybe he spoke to everybody before. Hey, we already discussed to you that you guys cannot be here, and I'm trying to make an understanding with you. And the lady's still getting aggressive, and everybody arguing with them. And maybe it reached to the point where,
because
maybe getting physical was the only option.
Where the video started, where the video started from.
Yeah.
It started with him going to the lady.
Yeah.
You understand? And they had a little thing, they part off. Then he approached again, she approached, and then it ended up with a shove. She shoved him. You understand? After they started interacting.
What physically. I don't understand, I'm just trying to understand, right? I'm thinking about it now. is the fact that two different officers, two different locations, but they seem to be the one,
The aggressors.
yeah, aggressor, and still pursuing after the situation is done. I'm trying to understand what is going on here.
And what came to mind when I was watching these videos is a statement made by the chief of police,
Yeah.
Colin John, when he said a few weeks ago, he's asking officers instead of being aggressive to be more assertive. You could be assertive without being aggressive. You understand? You could be assertive without being aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to be physically intimidating to get people's attention. You check what I'm saying? Because the way you utilize words, you know, the way you communicate could basically affect the type of behavior you want to see in response to what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's possible. We have a call coming in. Let's take the call first. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning, how you doing, man?
Yeah. With regards to this situation yesterday, both situations with the police there.
Yeah.
In my view, right, civilians will always be civilians. They always put up a resistance towards the police.
Yeah.
Police are the ones who's supposed to be always keeping a cool head.
Yeah.
And from looking at it yesterday, both officers lost the cool.
Yeah.
They forgot what they were taught, and after all, they are human beings,
Yeah.
and they lost the cool. Everybody could see that they lost the cool.
But what are the odds that more than one officer is losing their cool at the same time? I think there's a problem brewing there mentally.
I would say, they are human beings.
Yeah.
They are human beings. It does happen. Sometimes, you may have a little thing that and something just trigger you off. You understand?
Yeah.
Like we instance with the boat there. Why the officer was trying to tell him, man, no, he can't do this because apparently, from looking at it, the man looked as he was intoxicated too, but so he can't drive.
Yeah.
And he trying to go inside the vehicle, and the officer keep telling him, no, and he keep pushing and doing this and that.
Persisting.
You understand?
Yeah.
They are human beings. Police are human beings. They don't lose the cool. And plus, he can't kick the police. They can't kick the police. People seem to forget that part. But after the police chased him, he went too far. Not a little bit too. He went too far.
Yeah.
I totally agree that he went too far. You understand? The kicking and after he kicking done, he was separated by his team, and then he came and boxed the guy again.
Yeah.
He went too far.
So it's excessive force basically. And that's what we're
Yeah,
saying in both situations.
He went too far.
Even when the second situation with the vendor, the police already was separated from the woman and he went back and struck her again.
Yeah, you see.
So it's
in
not
the
just
one
the
they know.
interaction, it's the leave and then go back and do it again.
Right, they behave like the police act like if they were civilians there.
Yeah, like they forgot the position they were in.
Yes. They forgot who they were. And just run with their emotion.
But I don't think if you're gonna forget who you are, I don't think you should be having a firearm.
Ah, boy.
Because if you're gonna forget who you are, then you could
Okay.
let go
You-
something in the crowd.
Your basis of having a firearm, like,
No, what is the basis?
okay, that will tell you. How many persons have a firearm license to do a psych evaluation?
But that's the next thing. And that's what we're saying, there's need for psychiatric evaluations when it comes to officers, especially those who will be in situations where they're interacting with the public on a personal, interpersonal level. And they might be sent out to situations that are a bit chaotic. He's in a black squad uniform, which means he would be on the front line of anything that is chaotic and may pose physical danger. You don't want somebody erratic having a firearm who might fire it off because they're emotionally inclined to react or overreact in a given situation where they might feel threatened.
You know what? I always find society, is the one who gave the so-called black squad, as its society named them black squad, give them that the aurora around them, society, because when you see a black squad, as people keep saying, it's rapid response unit.
Yeah,
The
rapid
RRU.
response unit. Yeah,
But they keep saying black squad, black.
because of the uniform.
Yes.
That's what,
Yeah,
that's
and
the moniker they go by, because of the uniform.
Yeah, the black squad this and the black squad that. is you see people's perception of the black squad, and then the perception of the black squad now, some officers want to live up to it.
Well, I wouldn't say so, because there are very good officers out there who don that uniform on a daily basis.
Even notice what I said. Some.
But I will tell you something, what I realized yesterday. You realize that the senior officers who came on the scene afterwards, they dealt with the situation totally different. It's the younger officers, So I'm wondering if it's something that is missing from the training school now, or not being fully implemented or fully instituted within these officers during training, why they are acting this way while they're on active duty.
Could it be that we are focusing more on physical strength and physical attributes and not mental? Could it be?
No. We police, as far as I'm concerned, we police force focusing on now is academics.
Academics?
Academics. Yeah?
In terms of...
As long as you have that amount of subjects, you understand? Not everybody who have 10, 9, how much subject you have actually could be a good police. Not because you have a subject and you could be a good police. They don't go out and vet persons. I don't believe they even go out and vet persons again even when they join any police force. How much? I don't think you take that to do that kind of thing there again.
I wouldn't say that, because I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt that we're not having anybody in our police force providing security when they themselves could be a risk to security.
When you could just make a phone call and say, well, hey, I need my son to be a police officer until he gets something done.
Nah, man, I don't feel it's like
man,
that.
No,
I take it up in it.
No,
I take it up in it.
I would not agree.
Let me be honest, some fellas.
Yeah, I take it up.
Yo,
Nah, I can't agree with that.
You know where in society where we live in. Just a phone call.
I can't agree with that.
I think it happening. Even though I can't agree, I think it happening.
I can't agree with that.
It is a fact. It is a fact. I can't use anything diplomatic.
I ain't going to say it's a fact neither, because I can't.
Yeah, I can't say it's a fact, but I think it's happening.
It's a fact. I could say so, but with that my own personal point of view.
Yeah, well, that is your opinion.
Yeah,
that's your point of view, but that is not a fact.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a fact, but I think it's happening.
But we could do a lot more. And I think it's something we discussed a while back, where we spoke about police being mentally evaluated and going to counseling for anger issues and stress and on the job. And they should have a unit at the central police station or at the other, at least 1 or 2 police facilities where officers could go and get evaluated to make sure they're fit for duty.
Well,
because
if my memory serves me right.
Hold on, you never know what people are facing at home. It's different than the job. You see what I'm saying? And the job is one of the most stressful jobs. And you have a lot of interactions with the public going on. And plus you have firearms in the mix. And then you have potential dangerous situations that might arise from time to time. People dealing with a lot on the plate, it's not easy for them to function as they should under stressful situations. Otherwise, especially if they're having a bad day.
Well, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah.
Superintendent Blake. But I believe before she actually became a full member of the police force, that used to be her job.
Her job to do what?
Police officer used to go to like a shrink now.
Oh, okay. So she was like HR or something like that?
No, she was like, let me say, a shrink.
Like a shrink for
you
them.
go and you talk to her with regard to certain problems they have and stuff and like that. But I don't know what happened since.
Boy.
I don't know what happened.
But I know there's room for improvement. Regardless of what is taking place,
course.
It's obvious there's room for improvement, and it's something that needs to be addressed. You know what I mean? And
so have we moved on from the another issue, the fire scene yesterday?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, my point, my observation.
Yeah.
My saying, I from the mainland.
Yeah.
Right? I come to the Grenadines ever so often. And it is time now that even these hotels and things putting in these saltwater
pumps.
Stuff, right? To the name is slipping me right now.
Desalination plants.
Desalination plants.
Yeah.
You telling me the government can't willfully, I say willfully, not trying to help the people in the Grenadines get a desalination plant set up to that person who's even running pipes to their house, and that could be a source of income for the government.
Well,
Set up a desalination plant for all the islands, them. Oh God, you can't have these people them in it. Watch. How much persons lost their livelihood yesterday? Just because there was not enough. That's it, you know.
Well,
Not enough.
my thing is, right, with that, we have tanks that were donated to us, you know, in the time of the explosive eruptions of Lasso Fred. Those tanks could be utilized. We said time and time again.
They could be, but I do not see them personally in the Grenadines. You hardly see these tanks.
I know
Because
what you're saying.
the persons build their own tank.
Yeah, persons
But
build
then-
their own tanks, but we're not speaking
Yes.
about people personally getting tanks, you know. We're speaking about having like at least 3 of those 500-gallon tanks at a police station, at a school, at a community center, in different areas, so that if there is a fire, you have a source of water that you could utilize.
But-
A source of water you could hook up to with a pump nearby. You understand that you could hook up to get the pressure necessary to fight the flames,
I
to
think-
save people's houses.
I think there's
Yeah.
one problem with this solution though. Most of our communities live on banks and embankments.
That is not a problem. We're using hose
You
and
don't know,
pumps.
but it's time enough that
I mean,
that
it might not be close to the water source because of the distance you have to travel up these banks.
But that is why we said get small pickups and put pumps on them with the hose. You understand? And you utilize lines
yeah.
and you pump the water.
let me say something a
You could
little
have
bit
small tanks,
before I
you know.
go.
Yeah.
Before I go.
You
Well,
know?
with the NIS,
Yeah.
well, the Grenadines person, people them have to look out because they are self-employed, and if they want to make self-employed persons mandatory to join the NIS, there's a way again. Grenadines people, look out. I got.
All right then.
Now, speaking about the Grenadines, yesterday somebody said in Beckway it took 2 years to build the airport. Now it's taking 2 years to repair. Yo, and boy, we have a lot of problems in Vince, you know. Infrastructure is definitely one of them, and maintenance of infrastructure. As I said, these things should be on a schedule. There should be scheduled repairs, scheduled maintenance checks, and so forth to stop buildings from reaching to a point of disrepair where you have to practically rebuild the entire structure. You know what I mean? To maintain it. Come on, man.
A listener also says, right, it have a desalination plant at the fishery in Beckway, but I'm not sure if it's working.
There's one in Canawan too. There's a desalination plant in Canawan. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You understand? But how are they being utilized? Who owns them? Who operates them? And are they functioning? And can they be utilized to help the situation out? But in the meantime, let's do something with the tanks that we have, man, and put them in place and equip them so the communities do not have to suffer by fire or even drought from time to time, because we know the dry season has been terrible. Why wait until the dry season starts to distribute the tanks? These tanks could go to community centers, as I said, to clinics, to post offices, and to police stations as a source of water for communities in times of their need, whether it be fire, whether it be drought, or emergencies otherwise. Anyways, we got to go into the next hour. X104.3 FM. Let us know your thoughts, your opinions, and perspectives at 4301043. As you know, we're on the inside Nova So Mean. Myself, Gary Icon John, and DJ Lano in the back there in the building. You see it? Keep it locked. Here we go.
This is the Wake Up